So in theory, you might have an idea of what a literature review is, but it might be really helpful to find examples of literature reviews so that you know what it's supposed to at least look like. So under the Research tab, go to Articles and Databases. And within any of our databases, you'll come across many literature reviews, but specifically within ScienceDirect and Taylor and Francis, you'll find, in most cases, examples of literature reviews. So click on the link to Taylor and Francis. And in this database, which is hosted by the publisher Taylor and Francis, there's different subscriptions other than ScienceDirect, so it might be helpful to use both. You could narrow by subject if you wanted to. So there's, for example, 79 different journal titles that are arts related, but I'm going to do a search within all of them. My topic is how social media affects how people find breaking news. So I'm going to put social media in quotes to keep the term together, and I'll put breaking news without quotes, even though it seems to be an accepted term. I'm okay if they use social media and just news by itself. So sometimes using quotes can be very limiting, so just be careful with that, or it can be really helpful. So go ahead and do a search. And we have some results here. Political news journalist in social media. Will social media save newspapers? Perhaps this is what you think will happen, and this is maybe your focus, your topic. Okay, so it's still relevant. It was published online first and then published in print. It's within the journal the scholarly journal, Journalism Practice. And what you can do, if you'll notice here in the green, it does have the full text in this database. If not, it will provide you with a link to access options, which we might have it in a different database, just not necessarily this one. So click on the link to download full text. And this is the cover page so that you have the the citation information available. I saw social media there. And also here is the DOI. This is a fairly new phenomenon, digital object identifier. They always look like this with this dx.doi.org and then a number. And pretty much what happens is, this is the citation here. It's going to take the place of retrieved by with the URL, because not everyone has access to Taylor and Francis perhaps, but this will be the common electronic number that no matter where you are, what you have access to, you'll be able to find this article. So you at least have to look for it to have appropriate citations. Scroll down, there you go, okay. So now a couple of other things that will help you identify whether or not this is in fact scholarly. Look at the title. It has a subtitle. So Will Social Media Save Newspapers is the main title. And then after, Examining the Effectiveness of Facebook and Twitter as News Platforms is the subtitle that describes exactly their focus. Okay, there's an abstract. That's a big indicator that this is a lengthy article because it's the summary. And that's another indicator, the length, that it is in fact scholarly. Now these are author-supplied keywords that describe this article. If this is a really awesome article and exactly what you're looking for, jot these down, or a few of them, because what works in one will work in another one. So readership, for example, on my best day, I wouldn't come up with that one off the top of my head. So therefore, it's really helpful to check out what keywords to find better results. Okay, so in the introduction, it begins, it's literature reviewed, and it's just setting up what the paper's about. Then here is the literature review. So see how they break this down. First by social networking sites, then by Facebook, Twitter specifically, and then multi-platform newspapers, okay? So think about whether or not this is something that you have to do in your paper, okay? They're not all the same, but they're providing the same idea. And basically, it's just where does this research fit in context of what you're doing? Okay, it's just to set it up, because no idea is really original. It has to come from somewhere, and that's what you're identifying in your literature review. It's setting you up for where your research is in context of other scholars. Okay, so now for example, the Pew Research Center reported that 83% of American internet users aged 18 to 29 are SNS, social networking sites, and 61% of them did so the previous day. That's not common knowledge. Where did you get it from? So you're just trying to set this information up and then just cite it. Okay? Some scholars defined SNS as websites where users keep their profiles and connect or get connected with others. Good to know. Okay, so you really want to start from the basics and then find gaps in the research. So set it up like, what are you talking about? Like, what is your idea? Where did it come from? Who started it? If you can. And then you got to find the gaps. It's very specific to your topic, so that's why it's hard to talk about. But by looking at a few examples, you'll have a better idea. And another thing is, too, look at all of these great citations. Okay? Scholarly articles have probably taken the author a year or two, or maybe more, to complete prior to publication. They spent a lot of time putting this together. There's been editors going over their references and their original research, okay? So this is a gift. If you find, look at these references in alphabetical order, okay, you can use these. So for example, Pew Research in the State of the News Media 2010. Here is the website link that you can copy and paste and go check it out. Even if it's something that you find is older, I think based on this topic, everything's gonna be fairly new. Because you could go back to 2000 in a literature review at least, I mean, depending on your topic. You know, where did this research start? Where did it come from? You might have to think to yourself, like, is there anything newer than 2010 from the Pew Research Center? Right? And all you would have to do is just find that on the website. Okay, so it gives you clues. All of your research builds. There's a lot of websites here. So that's a good thing, and you can go find these. If not, what I would do, and I'll show you right now, let me find a scholarly article, and you can tell because there will be a volume and issue listed. Journalism, Mass Communication, Quarterly, the publication title is very specific. Okay, let me copy this and open a new tab to scholar.google.com, and I'll just paste the article title. On Prague 2X, how would you, yep, that looks correct. And if you'll notice, because I've set it up under library links, under settings, which there's direction on your course guide, you have access to this at NU Library. So you just click on the link, and you'll find the link to which this article is in any one of these databases, okay? Please let me know if you have any questions.